we have the interview with Bram Stoker. Bram Stoker.
Stoker.
Yeah.
Bram.
All
Who
right.
would you like to interview you? I didn't get the memo
Yeah.
on that one.
Okay.
Would
So
I?
yeah. All right. So Gary, you're gonna be Swales. You're gonna be
Oh God. Okay.
Swales. You're gonna be Swales. All right. Let me bring Bram Stoker out.
I
All
can't
right.
even remember what he sounds like, but I know the gist to the point where it's just like, let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, everyone. My name is Bram Stoker. I'm from Dublin. I wrote Dracula, and I'm ready to answer any questions you got.
Oh, is it me asking the questions? Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's not my show.
Oh.
Yeah. You go ahead, Swales. You go ahead with the questions. Yeah.
Are you sure? No. Look in the private chat there now. Look a thing there. You'll see a thing there
Oh,
now.
well, actually,
no,
I think
the private chat there now.
Oh, well, it seems okay. Well, yeah. Well, okay. Okay. Well, why don't we take some turns? Bram,
Okay.
I hope you don't mind, Bram. We're gonna try something new this
Okay.
time.
It's going to be like an interrogation.
A little bit, yeah. We're gonna take different turns, asking different questions.
We're going to
Just 'cause
triple team you.
they come from different parts of our souls, which you would know a thing or two about souls, right, Bram?
Every one of your
Yeah,
troll
so-
holes is going to be questioned by a
Who's got
different
troll
one
hole?
of us.
The troll hole here.
That sounds quite ominous, to be honest. But
A little foreshadowing,
I'll do my
perhaps.
best. I'll do my
Right.
best to answer what
Okay.
questions you have.
Wonderful, and thank you. We
Okay.
will not keep you up any longer than you want to be up. First question. I'll field this one.
Okay.
How did your background in theater influence how you wrote Dracula?
Great question.
Well,
Thank you.
one of my big inspirations when it comes to literature and shows, theater in general, was the Phantom of the Opera. I wanted to do something that was I wanted to write a book that sort of brought that energy to the reader. That sense of mystery, that sense of a man behind the curtain, making things happen, and everyone else just being clueless as to what to do about it. So, Phantom of the Opera was
Okay.
that for me. What led me to Dracula. Also, I think fangs and blood just make a good show.
I'll bet
Don't
you
you
do.
think?
I'll bet you
Oh.
do. Why is the title of your most famous work so often stylized as Bram Stoker's Dracula? Is it because you have an inferiority complex?
Oh, that's a little bit forward of you to ask, but
I always play the bad cop.
oh, I don't know what that means,
Ah.
but I kind of feel a little bit put upon by that question. To be fair, to be perfectly honest,
Filthy.
but
Filthy.
I imagine because I have a lot of people trying to copy off of what I've done. Dracula,
Makes sense.
I completely made Dracula up. There's no historical precedence for this character at all. People like to make other things up, say that he's based on some kind of historical figure, but that's all nonsense. I made everything up. It's my work. I'm Bram Stoker. Put
Right.
my name on everything that has anything to do with Dracula.
Mm.
Is my opinion.
Mm.
I think it's only fair.
Right. No, come here to me now. Come here to answer this now. All right. So now you're credited, right, with popularizing vampires in modern fiction. Knowing that to some extent, you inspired the Twilight Saga. Do you feel guilty or any way weird about that?
Yes. Twilight is maybe one of the most egregious pals to have fallen upon humanity, and for that, for inspiring people to come up with something so foul, so so horrible, so bland and
Disgusting,
boring,
disgusting,
and
filthy.
just it's got every aspect of terrible that any piece of fiction could possibly have. And the fact that it was born out of my ideas brings just loads of guilt into my soul.
Good.
That being said, make sure to read Dracula instead, because you're just not going to get anything out of Twilight. Sparkly skin. Are you fucking kidding me?
So you're
What?
saying that the Dracula in
No,
your,
there's no
No sparkly skin.
sparkly fucking skin on my
Not at all.
Dracula.
Jesus. Just Christ almighty.
Jesus.
Hey, well, you heard it here first. No sparkly skin
No sparkly skin.
on
God
Dracula.
almighty.
Now, Mr. Stoker, sir, Mr. Doctor, sir, Mr.
Yeah, I
Stoker?
prefer doctor. I don't
Doctor?
have a
Dr.
degree or
Stoker.
anything, but it feels nice to be called
Dr.
that.
Stoker.
It kind
Sounds
of makes
good.
me feel like I'm, Dr. Van Helsing a little bit.
Whoa.
I based
Whoa.
that character. Sorry, no, what?
Oh, not.
Please.
No, just the
Cut me
Dr.
off.
Valencing is cool. Like, go
Yeah.
continue on there.
All right, yeah.
It's said, just to carry on here, that renowned actor Sir Henry Irving was the inspiration for Count Dracula. Was Sir Irving pleased with how he was portrayed?
I don't know who the fuck that is. I
either,
don't know. I don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know why he's trying to take credit for my character. It's kind of off-putting to be frank, to be blunt about it.
So actually, we're just getting some intel here that you were actually Sir Irving's personal assistant. Are you denying that you were his personal assistant?
Yeah, count this as an absolute.
Count this. That's a good
denial.
one.
Count. There we go. That's in the book. That's in the
That
book.
is that is
Oh,
kind of
goodness.
I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, no pun intended. Absolutely no idea who that is. And we definitely never had words before, but we can have words now. I tell you what.
Speaking of having words, who do you think would win in a cage fight? Count Dracula or Frankenstein's monster?
We should get
That-
Aunt Kelly on the show, by the way.
That's
Right.
a tough one. Mary Shelley is
We
a
should.
good
Shelley.
friend of mine. Frankenstein's monster is big. He's big. He may have the grappling advantage if he gets in close range. But Dracula, he can turn into a bat. He can get the fuck out of there, and then he can sneak up on you later. Also-
That's true.
Also, he's got those red eyes. He can. I didn't write this in the book, but he's actually got lasers in there.
Oh my god.
Always
Yeah.
thought that. Always thought that.
Range is always, if you can control the range in an MMA fight, you win every fucking time.
Laser eyes.
Mr. Stoker, I
Perfect.
just realized we have a question from the audience that I think
Oh.
we might as well take. Would you mind answering a question? From the
Bram,
audience?
do you think you adding to the current global climate of fear by adding in the fear of the undead? Should listeners be concerned? Well,
Good question.
good
brilliant,
thing
brilliant.
you call them listeners, because I'm here for Soundboot Theatre, and they made a great rendition of my work. I 100% approve of it. So listeners is right. Please listen to their version of my story. But I don't think fear of the undead is in any way unreasonable. If you listen to this work, it's not just a piece of fiction. It's a warning. It's a warning to everybody. The dead can come back at any time. Be ready. Be prepared.
Beautiful. Now, here now. Listen to me now. Here now. Prior to your courtship with your wife, the absolute wagon Florence Balcom, she dated Oscar Wilde now, and yet you managed to keep your acquaintanceship with Wilde largely intact. How the fuck do you make that work?
You might have heard rumors about me and Oscar Wilde. I'll tell you one thing. It's all unfounded. We've never done anything untoward in the bedroom. I don't know where all this stuff came from. Oscar Wilde, he may be a good-looking fella, but he's
Gorgeous.
not, it's
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
you know, it's just not for me. But you know, Oscar Wilde, I'll give a shout out to you,
Okay,
my
so
friend.
maybe not Oscar Wilde, but you were a huge Walt Whitman fan and even got to meet him when you visited America.
Brilliant.
Was he dreamy in real life?
I don't like the implication that you're trying to give me here. I don't know where these rumors are coming from that I have some sort of attraction to good-looking young
Gorgeous
men
lads.
or good-looking older men or, you know, good-looking any sort of
Brilliant,
man really
brilliant.
with glistening
Also,
sweat-covered muscles or anything like that. But
Back like a
I
bag
don't
of
like
ropes.
men. If you read Dracula, you can see I value the human. I value the female form, the female human very
but
much.
just
I think
objectively
that they're
speaking,
like the center of our
was
culture.
Walt Whitman dreamy in real life? Answer the question, sir.
Did you fall
Do
into
not
his
skirt
eyes?
the question.
Did you swim out of those eyes?
Was
Did
he
you?
dreamy?
Look, I'll fucking fight either one of you right now. Look, I'm sick of this. I don't understand.
okay,
I
no,
thought Sound with Glitter was my friend.
No,
I thought they were going to produce something for me.
Brom, listen to me, Brom, listen to me. It's okay. They didn't mean anything by it. We're just trying to ask some questions, and we're going to just get through this. We've got a few more. You want to tell the world?
There's only so much of this I can take.
I
So
know,
you better bring the good questions out.
We're gonna bring the good ones out. We're gonna get you a Danish, and
Sorry,
it's
Mr.
all gonna be good.
No more questions about
Please
men.
watch those questions. All right.
John
all right,
Sprinkles
guys?
on the Danish.
All right.
I go get a few now.
Now I do have
Sprinkles on the
one
Danish. Are you fucking mad?
Do you want sprinkles on a Danish? I love sprinkles
I
on a
want
Danish.
fucking sprinkles on my Danish.
No sprinkles on the Danish.
No.
No sprinkles. You know he doesn't.
You'll have half sprinkles. Half
Doctor.
sprinkles at least. Half
What is
sprinkles.
wrong here in the future? People putting fucking sprinkles on Danishes.
You stay right there, guys. Can I have a word? Can I have a word?
Okay. All right. Well, quarter
guys.
sprinkles at least, man.
This is an opportunity, and you are squandering it.
Oh, just
Bram Stoker
Sorry.
is here in our studio.
Sorry, no.
Sorry.
He hasn't been in a studio in 100 years.
She's
I
never
don't think
had
he's even
sprinkles
been in a
either.
studio. It's amazing that we got him, and you guys are gonna send him packing.
Sorry.
So
Sorry.
help me God, you will not mess this up.
No,
Sorry about that. Oh, terrible sorry.
All right. No sprinkles, not even half. And
Okay.
you watch it with the HBO questions.
Okay, sorry about that.
Thank you.
Sorry, Bram.
That's-
Sorry, Bram. I'll
You're-
get terrible
you're a
sorry
good
about that
man.
now.
You're a stand-up fella. Thank you for
Okay.
standing up for me.
Let's get through these. We just have a couple more,
Thank you for
Ms.
getting
Dr.
me here,
Stoker.
Bruce, straight. Can't believe
As our listeners know, all of our listeners know this. Dracula is an epistolary novel, obviously. In other words, a collection of diary entries for those of you that it is not obvious.
Right.
Did you keep a diary while you were alive? And I don't mean undead. I mean alive. If so, could you please read us? Could you please? I know this is asking a lot, but we would love it. You know, any sample of your writing is
Beautiful.
beautiful. We just want to hear it. So, do you have an excerpt from one of your most private entries that you'd be willing to share with us?
Well,
Sure
like you said, it's private.
maybe from the day you
More private,
you
the better.
met
We'll just
Walt
edit
Whitman.
it
a
out.
bit
We'll just
uncomfortable,
edit it out later.
But you mentioned Walt Whitman earlier, and I suppose I could just read the part that I wrote about him when I visited America.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me pull out my tablet here.
Mm.
Yeah, I've only been around for about a couple days here in the future, but these tablets, I can't believe how easy they are to read.
Oh, they're
How
shocking
easy
useful.
they are to
Shocking
use.
useful altogether.
All right, you just fucking slide it up and down, and the letters go with you.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right,
Yes.
Dr. Stoker. Yes.
That's what you do.
All right.
Yes.
All right. 13th of March, 1906. America is beautiful. There's hardly any shit in the streets here in New York. I found loads of people busking on the street, and it was a delight to kick the shit out of them while I passed them by. I still tipped them, mind you, but they were good sports about it. When we reached Walt Whitman's apartment, he opened the door. I couldn't believe his hair. The coif, the shapeliness of it. Shiny, very thick, plumy. I wanted to run my fingers through it, but I was afraid he might take offense. Don't get me wrong, I'm no homo, but I would gladly run my fingers through his chest hair as well. My wife is a bit suspicious, but this is her friend. She trusts him. She trusts me. And I was able to convince her that there's nothing going on between us. And anyone who says otherwise can meet me in the alley.
Beautiful.
Thank you, myself,
Thank you.
for
Thank
writing
you.
this. Bram
What
Stoker.
an honor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so
I'm
much
very
for sharing
partial
that.
to a good tough to chest hair myself now. I'd enjoy that.
You fucking what, mate?
I would indeed.
You
I'd enjoy that a
fucking
lot
what?
now. I like a good
What are you
bush of
saying?
hair on the old chest there. And a good bush on the chest is
Look,
great.
Too.
I'm
like
getting.
it.
Look, I don't like what you're implying right now. Look, I thought your man set you
Sorry.
straight.
Sorry. No, we were just trying to.
We did get that right. Yes, we got that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yes. All right. Yes.
Your cause of death.
yeah.
Let's move on.
Wonderful.
Cause of
idea.
death.
Your
What?
cause of
How you-
death is
how you
still
got dead?
debated today.
Oh,
some scholars attributing it to
this
overwork.
is a bit confusing for me. I'm still alive. I'm right here.
You're not though. You're not alive at all now. Did no one tell him, lads?
What?
You,
What?
Short
Tell
fella,
me
Randy,
what.
have a clipboard. He not tell you nothing about today other than the interview. Feck.
Oh,
Jesus,
look,
lads.
I'm getting suspicious here.
I made the right
Look,
bags of that now,
you
lads.
you lads, just you got all these suspicious questions. You got me here in the studio. You gave me this nice tablet, which, to be honest, I'm very grateful for. I could just look at this fucking thing. You just up and down the letters. Just
Has he been given that to keep, lads? I was under the
anyway,
impression that was mine.
anyway. Fuck you. All right. You're telling me I'm dead. You're telling me all kinds of stories. Then you imply that I like men or something, weird like that.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
well,
Dr. Stoker.
some scholars do attribute your death to overwork, while others blame tertiary syphilis.
Mm-hmm.
Could you speak to that, Dribble? Oops, I mean, a
Syphilis.
little.
Syphilis. That disease is for the unclean people who sleep around with anybody and anything, and that is certainly not me.
Sir,
I'm
have you checked your
highly
Wikipedia?
offended right now.
Have you checked your
What
Wikipedia?
the fuck is Wikipedia?
You
What
should
the
look at
fuck is it?
Wikipedia.
He wants to know what Wikipedia is.
Wikipedia.
Right,
Jesus.
all right. So, settle down.
Look,
It's not as bad as syphilis, I can tell you that much.
Tertiary syphilis.
All
That means
right,
you had it
yeah,
3 times.
a smart mouth on you, little girl. Yeah, that's really funny. That's really fucking funny. Look, you want to fight me? We can do this. We can do this right now.
Okay, no, there's no need to fight. Is the cleric on his way? Yeah. Okay. All
I
right.
think
Good.
so.
We just
I
have
didn't
one.
ring.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. We just have one more question, Mr. Stoker, and then we're going to send you off.
Yeah,
back
you
to
better have one.
where you
Just
came
one,
from.
one question is all I'll do. I'll tell you that
You're
much.
gonna like this one. It's
That's a
not
good one.
coming from me.
It's a great one.
Yes. You touched on it earlier. Do you want to cover this one?
What are you accusing me of touching now?
So now you may be under the knowledge now that Soundboot Theatre now do have a production of your book Dracula. How do you feel about that yourself now? Have you listened to it?
Well, I got to tell you, they did a fantastic job. I don't know if you three are responsible for this or what.
Oh, God, no.
I don't.
100% me.
To me,
I was.
It's all him.
yeah,
Or
of
him.
course, that makes a lot of sense. And these two goons underneath you here couldn't possibly have had anything to do with it.
I don't like being called a goon at all.
You would think someone who worked on my projects would have some respect for me, but no, these fuckers down here. I bet they're your like secretaries or something. Like they're your solicitors. Is
Well,
that right?
unfortunately, Dr. Stoker, we are all out of time. The
All at
cleric
a
has
time, yeah.
arrived. Thank you
When
so
when
much
I
for
try
coming
to
today.
get to the bottom of things, then you're out of time.
We
Yeah.
got everything
right.
that we need.
No, I
You can
did
go
it.
ahead and cast Turn Undead. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I
Go
thought
ahead.
you guys were good at this interview stuff. You told me you were professionals. I'm out of here. Fuck you.
Thank you for your time, sir.
I think that's him exercise now, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ah, fick.
The fair girl
Hi,
shook her
Jeff.
head coquettishly,
Hey,
Ooh,
and
what's
the
this?
other
how'd
two
the interview
urged her
go?
on.
I had to go. Had to go.
Oh,
Bum,
heard-
bum.
I
We
heard
just heard
something.
a ghost. Another ghost.
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 Okay.
A little bit of Dracula for a second there.
Did
but
we? Are we
then it
playing a
went away.
clip from his book, by the way, from
Shall,
Mr. Bram
shall we
Stoker?
play a clip?
He was really mad. What did you guys say to him?
He was.
So, you don't want to know.
He's
Yeah.
just
He's
he's
a complicated lad size.
he doesn't
We
like
got
that he's dead.
everything we needed him to say.
And for the rest, there's Photoshop, right? That's what you do.
Photoshop.
That's how you Photoshop. Isn't that what you use to get people in trouble?
Anyway, so that was Bram Stoker, everybody. Big round of applause for Dr. Stoker. Thank you very much. How often do you get, a dead person on your show? It's just
Yeah. Well, we
Very,
could do
very
it
rarely.
without the magic. We just
Yeah.
dig somebody up and then just film them.
right.
It doesn't matter if they don't say anything. People
No,
are
it doesn't.
still impressed that we
fakes.
put that
Deep
much effort
fakes.
into
Deep.
bringing them to the show. So, okay. So, Ahmed, do we have a clip to play of Dracula?
The fair
Roll.
girl shook her head coquettishly,
Huh?
and the other two urged her on. One said,
Go on. You are first, and we shall follow. Yours is the right to begin.
the other added.
He is young and strong. There are kisses for us all.
I lay quiet, looking out under my eyelashes in an agony of delightful anticipation. The fair girl advanced and bent over me till I could feel the movement of her breath upon me. Sweet it was in one sense, honey sweet, and sent the same tingling through the nerves as her voice, but with a bitter underlying the sweet, a bitter offensiveness, as one smells in blood. I was afraid to raise my eyelids, but looked out and saw perfectly under the lashes. The girl went on her knees and bent over me, simply gloating. There was a deliberate voluptuousness which was both thrilling and repulsive, and as she arched her neck she actually licked her lips like an animal, till I could see in the moonlight the moisture shining on the scarlet lips and on the red tongue as it lapped the white sharp teeth. Lower and lower went her head as the lips went below the range of my mouth and chin and seemed about to fasten on my throat. Then she paused, and I could hear the churning sound of her tongue as it licked her teeth and lips, and could feel the hot breath on my neck. Then the skin of my throat began to tingle, as one's flesh does when the hand that is to tickle it approaches nearer. Nearer. I could feel the soft, shivering touch of the lips on the super-sensitive skin of my throat, and the hard dents of two sharp teeth, just touching and pausing there. I closed my eyes in a languorous ecstasy, and waited. Waited, with beating heart. But at that instant, another sensation swept through me as quick as lightning. I was conscious of the presence of the Count, and of his being as if lapped in a storm of fury. As my eyes opened involuntarily, I saw his strong hand grasp the slender neck of the fair woman and with giant's power draw it back, the blue eyes transformed with fury, the white teeth champing with rage, and the fair cheeks blazing red with passion. But the Count! Never did I imagine such wrath and fury, even to the demons of the pit. His eyes were positively blazing. The red light in them was lurid, as if the flames of hellfire blazed behind them. His face was deathly pale, and the lines of it were hard like drawn wires. The thick eyebrows that met over the nose now seemed like a heaving bar of white-hot metal. With a fierce sweep of his arm, he hurled the woman from him, and then motioned to the others as though he were beating them back. It was the same imperious gesture that I had seen used to the wolves, in a voice which, though low and almost in a whisper, seemed to cut through the air and then ring round the room, he said,
"How dare you touch him, any of you? How dare you cast eyes on him when I had forbidden it? Back, I tell you all, this man belongs to me. Beware how you meddle with him, or you'll have to deal with me."
The fair girl, with a laugh of ribald coquetry, turned to answer him.
You yourself never loved. You never love.
On this, the other women joined, and such a mirthless, hard, soulless laughter rang through the room that it almost made me faint to hear. It seemed like the pleasure of fiends. Then the Count turned, after looking at my face attentively, and said in a soft whisper,
"Yes, I too can love. You yourselves can tell it from the past. Is it not so? Well, now I promise you that when I am done with him, you shall kiss him at your will. Now go! Go! I must awaken him, for there is work to be done."
Are we to have nothing tonight?
said one of them, with a low laugh, as she pointed to the bag which he had thrown upon the floor, and which moved as though there was some living thing within it. For answer, he nodded his head. One of the women jumped forward and opened it. If my ears did not deceive me, there was a gasp and a low wail, as of a half-smothered child. The women...
Yeah. All right, that's some Dracula.
Hey.
That is beautiful. You should all go buy it.